This is a product tutorial for Sense, a whole-of-government business intelligence tool that allows government officers to query their databases in natural language. Today, we're going to learn how to break down a complicated high-level query into a series of smaller tasks. This helps Sense produce more effective outputs. For this, we've created a mock dataset of personal life events. Calling out the dataset shows that this is a table that records life events for individuals, their respective dates, and their related individuals that are part of those life events. Conceptually, we could use this dataset to determine the number of divorces that occur within 5 years of a marriage, since we have marriage dates and divorce dates for various individuals. But when we make such a high-level query directly in Sense, it fails. Why? It turns out that for very complex queries that involve multiple steps, Sense makes mistakes, just like a human being. Looking at the SQL code, there are just so many things that could go wrong. What should we do? For such high-level queries, we recommend breaking them down into a series of smaller tasks. Each task is then better understood by Sense, and fewer mistakes will be made. Let's see how we can break this specific query down into a series of smaller tasks. Since all we need are the marriage and divorce data, we start out by filtering all row items that correspond to marriages and divorces. Sense is able to perform this simple task very quickly. Next, wouldn't it be great if we could somehow rearrange the data such that marriage and divorce dates are 2 columns next to one another for each couple? We can do this using the reshape prompt from the previous tutorial to reshape the table produced in 4 columns: ID of main individual, ID of related individual, marriage date, and divorce date. Sense again does this with relative ease and 0 mistakes because it is a simple one-step task. The last thing we need to do is to create an extra column that takes the difference between the marriage and divorce dates. With this final table, you can download your CSV file and filter out all those marriage-divorce pairs that occurred within 5 years of one another. As a final sanity check, let's ask Sense what it thinks we are trying to achieve with these queries. Amazing! Sense is able to understand that we are trying to figure out how closely divorces take place from marriages. No credit to Sense here. It's really us, because we broke down our high-level query into a series of smaller steps. In summary, we learned that for high-level queries, they should be broken down into a series of smaller tasks. Each task is then better understood by Sense, and fewer mistakes will be made.